Hi, everyone. One of the things I commonly hear from providers or physicians who are opening up a membership-based practice is that they feel like it's hard for them to kind of think about what to do throughout an entire year with a patient. And they feel like shorter time periods, like 3-month programs or 6-month programs, will actually be easier to sell and more beneficial. And what I'd like to do today is workshop what a 12-month membership might look like for somebody. So what I have found in my practice is that 3 months, 6 months shorter programs, if somebody is very young and healthy, it might be they're just kind of working on one thing, then it might work for that kind of patient population. But I have found that when you do shorter time periods, you frankly don't know what you're going to uncover as you start working with somebody. And that's just from an internal environment perspective. Like, there might be other patients who they just need more time to help with the behavioral change side of things. And you might need to run alongside them at a different pace as they kind of structure their lives around the foundational lifestyle interventions that need to happen for healing. And so it also can be a bit misleading to the patient that if they think they do a low inflammatory diet for 30 days and do gut rehabilitation for another 60 days, then they're kind of on their way, that that's it, that's all they need to do. So I feel that the 12 months, especially the second portion of the 12 months, is super helpful for you to really help the patient get to know themselves. What I found is in that second half of the membership is that a lot of times patients would portal message me and be like, Dr. Mattioli, I'm starting to get that bloating again, but don't worry, I know what to do. And so you're really there as the support as the patient knows themselves and really gets to know what they need, how they operate, what supplements, what lifestyle habits, what foods, things like that, that really help them feel their best. So today I wanted to workshop, and we're going to just do this together, because if you guys do it at home, that would be amazing. So I'm going to do 3 columns and I'm going to do 12 rows. Actually, let me insert another one so I can do the titles. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, all right. So this is going to be month, and this is just for interventions, and this will be lab intervention. And then I just might put here, oh no, hold on, let me do lab. Yeah, so lab ordering, and then intervention plan kind of thing here. Okay, so we'll do January, February, March, April, May. Okay, you get the drift. But the reason I'm kind of doing this with you is because I want you to see how it does not take that long once you kind of get in there and doing it to kind of start to brainstorm and formulate this. So this might look different for everybody. But say they are seeing me, so they sign up for the membership, and the way I teach is that we actually have an initial consult that I call the foundational assessment. And that actually happens prior to them signing up for the membership. So I have other videos on that if you want to look. But this visit, we are doing a blood review, a blood test review. We're doing history. We're doing physical. They're leaving with foundational recommendations, as well as initial advanced test recommendations as well. So we are not recommending that. I'm not ordering advanced testing here with the foundational assessment. I'm just doing a lab review, blood work, just so it serves a couple of different ways. It gives me objective data on what I'm recommending, but it also lets me know if this person is appropriate for integrative treatment, or do they need to be referred out. Are they too acute? You know, that kind of thing. So this person already has blood work review. So say we did this appointment, say we did this in December, and they said, yes, I want to move forward with the membership. So here I am with my 12-month membership, and they're like, what are we going to do for a full year? How is this going to work? So let's pretend that my initial recommendation, so say that this person was 44-year-old female with bloating, fatigue, kind of some like IBS-like symptoms, and some chronic pain. And their blood work just showed like suboptimal thyroid. She had some nutritional deficiencies, some elevated CRP, some inflammation, but liver, kidney, all of that was within normal limits. So let's just say in the beginning, I've replaced the deficiencies. So I've replaced B12, let's say she was low in mag. I gave her some fish oil. I gave her a really good multi and curcumin for that joint pain. And I want to start doing, let's just say I ordered a stool test and a SIBO breath test to kind of get started based on her IBS symptoms. Like this is what I initially, that was kind of for her, that needed to be addressed first before we did other things. So I ordered this lab. So this would be lab resulted. So in January is our first appointment, and now I'm reviewing the stool and the SIBO. So this is the appointment with me. So let me go. So I'm going to do doctor appointment, reviewing stool and SIBO test. And so I'm starting like the gut healing plan at that point. And then now I'm ordering abnormal lab work. So remember I did blood work up here back in December. So say I needed to repeat thyroid, maybe I needed to repeat B12, D. So I'm kind of trending that to see where we are. And then they're going to follow up with me in 2 months. So in February, they're going to see my health coach. And you know, and then at that point, it's whatever you think they need. So she might be going over sleep hygiene. They might be going over exercise. They might be going over the low inflammatory diet, you know, et cetera, whatever you think that they need at that point. So now it's March, and I'm going to check in and see like how they're feeling with the gut healing protocol. And what I always tell our providers is that, listen, even if the patient says, you know, I've been following everything to a T and it's not really making much of a difference. Now, that could mean that the gut rehabilitation isn't, I mean, it'll certainly help other things, but that wasn't the major imbalance that was causing them to feel what they're most concerned about. And that's okay. That's an indication. That's a guiding light. You know, we're all scientists here. Like all information, whether it's like quote unquote positive or negative, it just kind of tells you which direction you need to go into. So then you might kind of go somewhere else, or you might look more into like their thought work, their nervous system, things like that. Like what old patterns are they kind of perpetuating for themselves? So as far as here, we're going to check in to see how they're feeling with the gut healing protocol, and I'm going to review the blood work at this point, because remember I ordered any of those abnormal here. So then the intervention plan at this point is I might adjust the baseline supplements based on this blood work that was reviewed. And then as far as the gut health, like if I needed to repeat gut testing, I would then here. But I'm just going to pretend for this person that I might want to repeat. So the stool test, there was no indication that I really needed to repeat that, but I do want to repeat the SIBO to make sure, because if she's not feeling any better with her bloating, let's pretend that that was like 50% better. I want to see if we actually eradicated the positive SIBO or not. So I'm going to repeat that SIBO. But I'm also want to move on with her stress response, because this fatigue, I think, has to do with her adrenals. So I'm going to order a saliva adrenal test here. Again, now in April, she's going to see my health coach. And again, any variety of health coach things that you might intervene at that point. So now it's May. And now I'm doing the doctor's appointment. So I'm going to review the adrenal test. And then that's going to be my intervention, is going to be the adrenal protocol. So I'll keep her on some of those foundational supplements that she might need. And then she will do that adrenal protocol. Now, then for the adrenals, I typically find that kind of might take about like 90 days. This is around the time. So now we're like 5 months into it. This is typically when I like them to have that initial appointment with the therapist. This is typically when they start to either discuss things that they need to talk about either from their past or like managing things in their current life. So I always want them to have that health coach appointment kind of after our appointment. But then in July, I'm going to have them see the therapist. And then here we have the doctor's appointment to review I didn't say what we were ordering here. Sorry about that. So here we're doing the adrenal protocol, the foundational supplements, and then this is ordering blood work. If we need to at that point. And at this point, sometimes I start to look into like the sex hormones piece as well. So I might add in sex hormones here or anything else that you might feel that they need. I mean, as you know, like this is a pretend patient, but like there's things that come up that you might do an advanced cardiometabolic panel at this point. They might need, they might have some bone health issues, and you might be kind of investigating that blood work a little bit more. So you're just kind of continuing to peel back layers of the onion, and it could be a little bit of everything. So for this person, I'm going to say we're going to start to look at those sex hormones, but like I said, it could really be anything. So I'm going to review blood work at that point. And as you can see, so my membership, we had 5 visits with me. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1 left. So here I'm going to adjust the plan based on the blood work. I'm going to see how they're feeling once this adrenal protocol. And here I'm going to ask them, how are they? Some people, they're not quite ready to be done with the membership. Other people are. Like at this point, they feel like they know themselves. They feel like they knew what was occurring for them and what they need to do to kind of improve their health. So at this point, I start to ask them like, okay, do we want to move forward with more of a maintenance program? And I would invite them into any one of my like maintenance levels. Everybody gets the same membership year 1, but from maintenance levels, I invite them in. So if this person is still like, there's still issues that we haven't resolved yet, or they just still need support, then I might order additional testing at this point. Just kind of like one more time within this membership. But then that really kind of helps me know. So this is my doctor final appointment. And then I have a health coach here. So in this final appointment, then I'm either giving them like a maintenance plan, and I'm kind of, just letting them know, like, these are the things that I recommend trending with your PCP or primary medical team. And then you can kind of go about it that way. And then in November, then you have your health coach appointment where that's final. And then if they decide that they want to continue on with the year, like I said, then they can. And you'll just kind of continue to order labs, support them as you peel back those layers of the inflammatory processes. So this is how a 12-month program might work. As you can see, December is blank. What I have found is that here I'm seeing the patient about every 2 to 3 months. It typically, like initially, especially, you might not see them at exactly the 2-month mark, or you might see them a little bit earlier. It just kind of depends on the patient journey. The other question that you might be having is like, what if you need more visits initially, or they don't use up all their visits? I'll address that in detail in additional videos, but basically, my how I handled that is my membership included 5 visits with myself, just period. I found that that was a good average number. Sometimes I needed to see the patient initially about every single month, and they used up those 5 visits. If that does happen, we are very transparent and very clear about tracking. So the patient knows, you know, you have used up 3 of your 5 visits, you have used up 4 of your 5 visits. So before every appointment, they have a tracking sheet that we provide to them. And then we have a la carte visit. So after they use up those 5 visits, and if they need another medical appointment, so I always recommend what's medically necessary. I never tell them, oh, well, I'm not scheduled to see you for another 2 months. Like, it's always what's medically necessary. And then it's just transparent to them that each initial visit might be $199, $249, whatever you set that price as. That's really important. Also, if they do not use up their 5 visits in that first 12 months, then they don't use them. So it's kind of lost visits, but they do get that tracking. So if they come in for at month 10 and they use 3 of their 5 visits, then they know that, you know, if they want to complete that and see me, then, you know, they'll need to schedule that. A lot of times I do like a couple month grace at the end of the year to kind of give them an opportunity to use that up. You can choose to do that as well as if you'd like. But as you can see, this is a cadence where you're kind of jogging alongside the patient. You're giving time for the labs to be resulted, for the body to show change once implementation is made. And you're adjusting multiple different processes within the body. It's not just like a 3-month only focused on the gut or only focused on hormones. And that might be you know, that might be helpful in other areas, but this is how I found, like, if you're going to address multiple systems, multiple layers, that a 12-month program is really a nice pace for everybody, including you, your staff, your independent contractors, and it offers stability for the patient and for yourself. Thank you.